Shoppers are in the final stretch of that mad dash for holiday gifts. Good evening, everybody. I'm Roger McCoy.
And I'm Harry Harrison. Mir Makerson has the night off.
Well, it's now or never for Detroit area shoppers racing the clock to try and get all the items crossed off their Christmas shopping lists. Hordes of shoppers have been streaming into area shopping centers all day long, as they did throughout the weekend, and Fox 50's Cynthia Canny has been following the frenzy at Northland Mall tonight and joins us now with a live report. And Cynthia, I would imagine that a lot of people right about now are kicking up their feet and saying, boy, I'm glad I'm done for the day.
Actually, what's happening is they're starting to stream out of the mall. The stores have stayed open until just 10 o'clock, and I assume they're all going to be heading home now for an orgy of wrapping paper and ribbons. But as we discovered tonight, there is a way to beat this last-minute crush. 'Twas 2 nights before Christmas, and all through the mall, the shoppers were rushing, dragging bags down the hall.
I'm having a good time because I'm done.
Like it or not, the sands of time are running out, and if you don't want to be branded an Ebenezer or Scrooge, you've got to face the crowds. Why wait so long?
Because I do this every year. It's a ritual. I do it every year. I wait till the last minute because I love crowds, and I do. I'm sorry, you know. You always wait this late in the year to do these things?
No, not usually.
What happened this year?
Funds are short. Wait till the last minute. 50% off. Pretty good deal.
Sometimes they get a little irritable, and we have to remind them that Christmas is on the 25th again this year, just as it's always been.
But wait, there is a way around this 11th hour frenzy. Christine Gavin, Andrea Morrow, and Marshall McLean will do your shopping and wrapping for you.
And usually what people are doing is they're calling from their office, and they're like, uh-oh, better get something. You know, now it's down to the wire, so the phone's ringing a lot.
Custom-designed gift baskets are a hot item, prices ranging from $25 to as high as you want, delivered to your door with a smile.
How are you? Got something for you. Oh, how nice.
I have been doing some running in the malls, and I know what it is. So this came up, and I was so happy that this would save me hours, I'm sure.
Now, the women at Michigan Lifestyle say that they have been hired to decorate homes, stand in line here at the malls, wrap the gifts, deliver the gifts, even write the holiday thank you notes. So it seems that you've got a choice. You can either be organized enough to shop on time and get the stuff done ahead of time, or you can stand in line here at the malls, or you can hire someone else to sweat those holiday details and enjoy the holidays. Reporting live from Northland Center, Cynthia Canty, Fox 50, 10 o'clock news. Back to you, Roger and Harry.
Okay, Cynthia, sounds like those ladies have given a whole new definition to the term power shopping.
You bet.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Fox 50 Cynthia Canny reporting live from Northland Mall. Harry?
And the procrastinators rather, just aren't shopping for gifts tonight. Now, get this, plenty of people are still looking for the perfect Christmas tree. Apparently, they're finding some good bargains at places such as Detroit's Eastern Market. There were plenty of trees and wreaths available early this evening, but we're told they're going very, very fast. And if you simply don't know what to give that special someone, well, some of the hottest items are the cha-ching, bada-bing expression T-shirt. Boom boxes are still very hot items, and electric keyboards for children as well. But of course, don't plan to get much sleep between Christmas and the New Year with that gift around the house.
If you're environmentally conscious, how about gifts like rechargeable batteries or toys made from recycled materials? Sounds good, but as always, it's buyer beware. Just because there's a recycling symbol on the box doesn't necessarily mean it's made from recycled materials. And that's just one warning from Robert Michael Ellen and Company, a Metro Detroit environmental advertising firm.
The other thing is it can have as little as 5% recycled content in it. And so a consumer might think that they're purchasing something that's got 100% recycled material in it, and really it might have almost nothing in it.
So remember, buyer beware, and if you'd like a free environmental ad guide with tips for being a smart shopper, just send a self-addressed, stamped, business-sized envelope to Robert Michael Ellen and Company, 30600 Telegraph Road, Suite 2161, Birmingham, Michigan. Zip code is 48025.
As we all know, tomorrow is Christmas Eve. While many of us will be out doing last-minute shopping, thousands of needy people will be wondering if they'll eat or where they'll spend the night. Last month, we told you that several charities were in desperate need of food, clothing, and toys. Tonight, Fox 50 show Heard says many of the same groups are almost out of time. donations and money.
Good afternoon.
People are digging deeper into their pockets this holiday season, but no matter how much is given, the need is greater.
Okay, family of course. Oh, we got about to do that stuff. Get out.
Families in huge numbers are lining up outside places like the East Side Emergency Center this holiday season, many needing more than toys this Christmas.
They gave me clothes and a coat for the baby because he was without a coat, and they gave me food for him.
Food and shelter are on many lists this year, so much so that charities are constantly running out of donations, and volunteers have to pick and choose who will get the help.
With staff is doing that, sitting down trying to pick out the one that needs the most. And that's difficult because everybody needs. We're trying to service the bigger families because we find out that they're needing the most.
Community organizations are pushed to the limit, having to provide the necessities.
They want coats, gloves, shoes, hats, things outerwear mainly. Toys is not a hot issue this year.
The Salvation Army is traditionally the place people go when they are in need. But even the Army, with all of its resources, is stretched to the limit this time of year.
Christmas alone, we will provide probably about 350,000 services to people in the metropolitan area. That statistic continues to grow, so the numbers are annually becoming historical. I wonder how far we can go.
In Detroit, Cheryl Hurd, Fox 50, 10 o'clock news.
Another group, the Goodfellas, still needs your help. It's trying to provide gift packages for some 40,000 Detroit kids this year. The Goodfellas, though, are still 25% short of their goal. Roger?
It's a mystery tonight that has a group of experts baffled at the very least. Where did almost 5,000 gallons of gasoline go at a downtown Detroit parking garage? Fire officials suspect that a tank might have ruptured, sending that fuel into the ground. But tonight, as Fox 50's Audrey Summers reports, the Environmental Protection Agency has now been called in to try and solve this mystery.
A team of experts from Marine Pollution Control dug 2 test wells searching for flammable gas in the soil. They drilled 35 feet down, looking for almost 5,000 gallons of gas that's missing.
To the eyesight and the sense of smell, there are no known flammables within the soil itself.
The massive gas leak occurred over the weekend, spilling from holding tanks inside the parking garage at Fort and Washington. The question is, where did all that gas go? An environmental team is trying to determine if that gas is flowing down Washington Boulevard and headed straight towards the Detroit River.
Well, we are keeping an eye on the residual tunnels that surround and are a maze throughout the downtown area. And as of you and I speak, they are showing up negatives, but that does not mean it could not happen.
The office building above the garage was closed today, but people who work there were allowed to pick up belongings. The block is cordoned off, and people are warned not to smoke in the area. Workers at the Comerica Bank building smell gas in their basement.
It is a little scary, to be honest.
What about the environmental impact?
That's scary, too, but hopefully they know what they're doing and they'll take care of it.
It's all down beneath the ground or in the river and the sewer by now.
Aren't you concerned about any environmental problems?
I'm always concerned about the environment, but these things happen.
What firefighters don't want to happen are more problems. That's why the Environmental Protection Agency and Department of Natural Resources will be moving in next to help solve the mystery. In downtown Detroit, Audrey Summers, Fox 50, 10 o'clock news.
And the building's manager says it's a mystery to him, too. He has no idea how those gas tanks could have leaked. Harry?
Well, for the first time in just a little while, the Lions could be champions again. Lions fans are crossing their fingers tonight, hoping for the best. Before the night is over, we'll know whether or not they are the Central Division champions. Fox 50's Teresa Tomeo is with us live tonight, where some of the Lions are huddled watching the games.
Yeah, exactly, Harry. Well, you know, this is a very big night, as you said, for the Lions, for fans, for teammates, for their family members, and they're all gathering here tonight at the Pontiac Silverdome. The reason being they are watching the game, and what they want, of course, is a win by San Francisco, because that would mean they would clinch the Central Division title. And what better place to celebrate than right here at the Silverdome, the home of the Detroit Lions.
We want to look at the game together because we got a lot riding on this ball game, and so whether it's disappointment or whether it's sure exhilaration, we want to experience it together.
The Lions have an awful lot to celebrate this holiday week. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's Chicago-San Francisco game, they're in the playoffs. Of course, it would be very nice if Chicago loses so Detroit could clinch the title of NFC Central Division champs.
Being champions means a lot more than just going in, as a divisional wild card, because it shows that you've made one step, now it's time to go another step.
Whatever happens, the Lions will have the undying support of their fans, hundreds of them traveling all the way to the Dome tonight to watch the game on the big screen.
I've been waiting for the Lions to win for 23 years, and it finally arrived, and I'm here with them all the way.
Oh, man, you got to come out here with all these people out here. That's the only way to see a game like this. It's too big of a game to stay at home.
It's kind of nice to be out here with a crowd of people and get into all the spirited Lions crowd, have a good time.
Earlier today, hundreds of other diehard fans waited in the cold for a chance at snatching playoff tickets, 3,600 of them up for grabs. Some fans wanted so much to be a part of sports history, they stayed up overnight, all night.
Lions, they're awesome, and they deserve a win.
If you are a loyal fan, and this is, wow, I was born here, so I never experienced this before. This is, they're ready.
Well, right now it is a wait-and-see situation, of course, but before the night is over, those here at the Pontiac Silverdome, especially the Lions and their family members here near the main event restaurant, say they believe before the night is over, they indeed will be the Central Division champions. Reporting live from the Silverdome, Teresa Tomeo, Fox 50, 10 o'clock news. Harry, back to you.
Well, Teresa, I don't know what the score is right now, but at last word, things are looking really good for the Detroit Lions. Any indication?
We're going to win regardless. We're going to go all the way, I think. I'm confident.
Any indication about champagne popping out there, huh?
We're having a great time here. I had a chance to talk to some of the players, and they're feeling really good about everything. And they say regardless of who wins tonight, they're still going to be in the playoffs, and that's what people have to remember. That's the important thing. And the Lions are really hepped up. And as a matter of fact, Ray Lane will be talking to Wayne Fonts later in the show.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Teresa. Thank you. Well, if San Francisco wins, the Lions are in as the Central Division champions. It certainly looks as though that just may be the case. The Bears' victory tonight would put the Lions in second place.
And Director Al Babbitt tells us that the score is 21-0, San Francisco. So good news.
I like that.
Lions. I guess you'd call that cat scratch fever.
Yeah, I guess
if we get going on that deal. Stick around. Up next on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news, a new fashion trend born and bred right here in the Motor City. And it's sports Detroit's pride.
Intense and deadly fighting headlines the latest chapter of history in the Soviet Union.
And Santa Claus isn't just for little kids. These stories up next on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news.
Race fans, WRIF and Fox 50 present 10th Annual U.S. Hot Rod Thrill Show Spectacular, featuring Mud and Monster Truck Racing Championships. Stop by any Harmony House location and pick up your free, that's right, free pit pass today. See for the first time ever an indoor car jump world record attempt. 3 flatbed trailers, end-to-end, loaded with explosives. One wrong move and kaboom! Then it's high-flying monster truck action, mud racing, and more. Saturday, January 4th, Pontiac Silverdome. WRIF and Fox 50 take you over the edge.
Frango, the irresistible chocolate delights. Perfect for the holidays and only at Hudson's. Bring your gift list and the American Express card.
Waiting for you just behind these double doors is one of the most exciting events in the history of the automobile, the 1992 North American International Auto Show. Here you'll be able to view what's new for 1992 and beyond. See your Metro Detroit Ford dealer now during the Great Ford Sales Event and pick up a great deal on a new Ford car or truck.
See your Metro Detroit quality Ford dealers. They're committed to earning your trust.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready for 2-9 financing or up to $750 back on Ford Escort? That's 2-9 financing on Escort. Plus, save up to $1,400 with option package discounts.
Hooray!
The Great Ford Sales Event means great savings on all new Ford.
Yes, we're ready!
Bill Brown, Plymouth east of Farmington, Pat Milliken, Telegraph south of Plymouth.
An apparent murder-suicide is under investigation tonight in Detroit. The double shooting took place at a residence in the 16,000 block of Winston Street on the city's west side. The dead woman is believed to be in her 20s. The man in his 30s. Police say the man shot the woman and then took his own life. Names are not available, and police are continuing to investigate. Also tonight, Detroit police once again need your help to capture an alleged killer. He is suspected of gunning down a man on the city's west side. Tonight, he is Michigan's most wanted. Detroit police are hunting this man, Anthony Duval Terry. Terry is wanted for first-degree murder. Here near the area of Plymouth and Greenfield is where Terry allegedly executed his victim. According to police reports, 2 women argued with a 21-year-old man in this area. The women left, but later returned with Anthony Terry. Witnesses say Terry drew a handgun and fired several shots, killing his victim. At age 21, Terry stands at 5'10", weighing 140 pounds. He is considered armed and dangerous. If you see this man, do not approach him. Call Detroit police immediately. The number is 596-2170. That's 596-2170. Police officers are standing by at this hour waiting for your calls and tips. Now, thanks to you, police arrested this man, Troy Benson, over the weekend. Benson is charged with the November 13th beating death of a Detroit man. He was formally arraigned today at 36th District Court. Since Fox 50 began profiling fugitives, 65% of them have been caught or either turned themselves in, all with your help.
In world news tonight, there's been a second day of fierce fighting in the Soviet Republic of Georgia. The news agency TASS reports the death toll right now is at 50. Georgia is the only Soviet republic that so far hasn't signed with that new Commonwealth. Meanwhile, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev may have something to say about his future by Christmas Day. And that could be his resignation and plans about heading up a research foundation. The U.S., meanwhile, says it will recognize the new Russian Republic later this week. In Jerusalem, a man who claims that he isn't Ivan the Terrible will finally get another day in court. John Demyumyuk, a retired auto worker from Cleveland, maintains that he is not the Nazi death camp guard who terrorized Jews during the dark days of World War II. His attorneys claim that Israel and the U.S. are conspiring to conceal evidence that could prove his man's innocence. Israel's Supreme Court listened to 4 hours worth of arguments today and will reconvene January 15th to consider more evidence. In London, meanwhile, more terror in the subways. 2 trains firebombed today, and police believe the IRA once again was responsible. There were no injuries, fortunately. More than 2 million people ride London's underground subway system every day, and the IRA says it will observe a 3-day ceasefire.
The joy Americans felt in recent years as hostages returned home has turned to sorrow. The body of former hostage William Higgins is expected back in the U.S. tomorrow. Officials identified the body after it was dumped along a road in Beirut yesterday. Higgins was kidnapped in 1988 and killed later that year. Only one other American is unaccounted for in Lebanon. The body of CIA Station Chief William Buckley hasn't been recovered. Buckley was taken hostage in 1984.
And time for a first look at weather with Gary Basner. And I guess a lot of people want to know if we're going to get any of that white stuff tonight.
The Santa report, can we call it that?
Gary, what you got?
Yeah, you might get some if you don't use Head and Shoulders. And that's going to be the only way that we're going to, well, I'm sorry. I mean, we tried. We warned you about this last week. Temperatures are in the 30s, or were in the 30s today for highs. Sunshine was evident north and northwest of the city of Detroit today. Here in town, we didn't get much of that. Skies are beginning to thin out just a tad, so temperatures will cool down tonight. And that was very pleasant all the way up into the UP as well. Temperatures at or above the freezing mark, with the exception of Houghton. They had a little bit of snow most of the day's cloud cover. Managed 27. Officially here in Detroit, we were well above seasonal normals. 39 the high today. It's half a dozen above where it should be. And the low of 34 this morning. A whole bunch above a normal of 20 this time of year. We'll get back to more normal readings in the next few days. 7/100ths of an inch of rain at the airport and about a 10th here at TV 50. Fox Studios in Southfield. Right now at the airport, though, our skies are cloudy. It's starting to thin out. Temperature is still 31 degrees. And we'll be giving you a look at the Christmas Day forecast, and at least we can keep it in our minds. One thing that's definitely on the minds of many people, and that's the Pride of Lions that are out at the Silverdome watching it happen. And, Ray, looks like they're getting the help they need.
Yeah, I think so. They might be thinning out someplace else over in Chicago. Update for you, that Bears game in the second quarter. The Bears trailing big, 24-0 to San Francisco again in the second quarter. While Wayne Fonts says to be a strong candidate as the NFL Coach of the Year, another member of his fraternity is out of a job. The San Diego Chargers fired Dan Henning as their head coach after 3 losing seasons. Henning and his entire staff were let go after losing the regular season finale yesterday to the AFC West champion Denver Broncos 17-14. Chargers were 4-12 this season, and in the 3 years under Henning won 16 while losing 32. Well, good news. 4 Lions today named to the Associated Press All-Pro Football Team. The honorees include Barry Sanders, Mel Gray, Chris Spielman, and Jerry Ball. Lomas Brown named to the second team. So Wayne Fonts might be doing some cheerleading tonight. We'll hear from the coach later on the Extra following the news. I think I heard a roar way down there.
Way down there.
Yeah. Thanks, Ray. And up next on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news, he's the brain power behind an idea that's catching on around the country, also helping the city's image.
And the Queen of Soul, Motown's own Aretha Franklin, is the star of a new promotion. That story coming up next on your Fox 50 News.
Hold the end of your string up, Joey. Joey, we're never going to get this done if you keep on eating the Kix.
Kix is a cereal that's low in sugar with a corn crunch that kids like. Kix also makes a great decoration.
So, how's it look? Delicious.
Kix, kid-tested, mother-approved.
Every Blockbuster Video has thousands of great movies, which means every Blockbuster Video has thousands of great gifts, plus great new releases like this. A rookie FBI agent, a psychiatrist turned psychopath. Opposites with one attraction.
Are you saying that he's killed again?
I'll help you catch him, Clary.
Lecter's missing hand arm.
The Silence of the Lambs. Rated R from Orion Home Video. Blockbuster Video. Thousands of great gifts at great prices for everyone on your list.
It is one thing to accelerate from a standing start, quite another at high speed. Infiniti designed the Q45 to do both. With a variable valve timing system so advanced, there is no compromise at any speed. Infiniti has, for the first time, blurred the lines between luxury and performance.
When you're 9 years old, only one thing matters.
What I want for Christmas.
Yes, nothing is more important than the perfect toy. So bring on the bullies and the obnoxious little brothers. Because every kid knows that on December 25th, dreams really can come true. Well, sometimes. A Christmas Story, Tuesday night at 8 on Fox 50.
A Detroit man is making the phrase "made in Detroit" mean something all over again. In fact, he's a young designer of a line of clothing that represents the heritage and the pride of the Motor City. Fox 50's Joe McFarland has that story.
Sitting on top of the world. I think I'm an ambassador of Detroit. There's all this machinery around. There's a lot of talent around.
And that's why Robert Stanzler came home to Detroit to start his own business and take advantage of Detroit's resources. The 24-year-old industrial designer has created a line of merchandise that is about the heritage and workforce that built Detroit.
The Made in Detroit idea works for people because there is a solid feel, and people do get a sense of assurance that something is made in an old-fashioned way with a sense of craftsmanship and some pride that they can relate to.
His Made in Detroit logo covers hats, T-shirts, and leather jackets, and it's carried in stores from Detroit to Japan.
For this Christmas, they tested our merchandise at the Parco department stores in Tokyo. Knock on wood, will be an official vendor for them with spring of 1992. And that's kind of really good feeling thing for me because I'm really glad that we're exporting Detroit to Japan. It's about time.
The Detroit Motorcycle Company is already a hit in New York City. And around the Detroit area, retailers say they like it because it's a hometown business.
You know, for some local retailers, it wasn't so much the merchandise behind the Detroit Motorcycle Company that attracted them to this line as it was to the designer with all his pride and spirit.
Energizing. It's like creativity sparks energy, and we get an exchange that goes on. He's so excited about what he's doing, and it makes us excited and happy to have it.
Robert says his business is doubling every 8 to 10 weeks. And despite the growing interest from the high-profile fashion industry, he says he'll remain rooted to the pride and spirit of Detroit.
It's a different way to represent the city. It's kind of a different image.
I would never, ever say
It's another side of Detroit's story. And it makes me proud to be involved in telling this other, more positive side of Detroit's story.
In Detroit, I'm Joan McFarland, Fox 50, 10 o'clock news.
And if you'd like more information about the Detroit Motorcycle Company and any of its products, you can call them at area code 313-567-2717.
On Life Watch tonight, contacts for a baby, curbing your appetite, and a new role for Aretha. Babies born with cataracts can be fitted with contacts. Tiny Destiny Rafina was just 2 weeks old when doctors at Emory University removed the cataracts. Destiny's doctors are confident that she won't have vision problems when she grows up. New hope for folks afflicted by the Dagwood disease. The victims of the food eating disorder often clean out the refrigerator in their sleep. Researchers at the Sleeping Disorders Institute in New York are taking an interest to slam the door on those nocturnal forays to the fridge. And Detroit's Aretha Franklin is getting involved in a big way in the latest battle in pizza wars. She will be lending her talents to rally the delivery drivers as Pizza Hut sets its sights on Domino's. The new national advertising campaign hits the airways the day after Christmas.
Pizza Hut delivery in a pink Cadillac.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
With respect.
You got it. Up ahead on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news, they thought it was going to be a cold and empty Christmas, but a prayer has now been answered for this homeless family.
President Bush talks about your finances in his Christmas message.
And they're cute, they're wild, and they're the center of a controversy. These stories up ahead on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news.
Delight someone on your shopping list with ginger and spice. They're the most lovable, huggable toys of the season in 2 cuddly sizes. Available only at Target while supplies last.
So you just got a cash advance, did you? Too bad you used an ordinary credit card. Because you could be carrying some very heavy interest charges. Why not carry the Discover card? Just pay your full monthly balance and a small transaction fee, and we'll forget the interest. Which means our money comes with no strings attached. It pays to Discover.
feel of the road, the look of the sky, view of the world as it passes by.
The new 92 Mercury Sable, featuring over 200 refinements that make Sable smoother, quieter, more comfortable. From its restyled exterior to its newly contoured interior, plus safety features designed for your peace of mind. The new Mercury Sable.
All this in the quality of a Mercury.
Happy holidays, Vern. And Vern, guess what you can get me for Christmas at ABC Warehouse?
No need to guess, Fern. ABC has it all for someone special on your list. And it's all on sale right now. Like this leading technology computer system with VGA color monitor. Now just $1877.99.
And that's not all, Vern. I'd also like to have a...
Happy holidays from ABC Warehouse to your house.
There's more good news to report to you tonight, encouraging signs that government and the private sector are taking unprecedented steps to deal with the problem of the homelessness. Since last month, the city of Detroit has provided overnight shelter for about 14,000 people. Thousands of others have turned to other charitable agencies. Tonight, though, some of the homeless have new homes. Fox 50's Michael Neal reports.
This is my good luck charm and my St. Christopher, which I keep rubbing because I've been blessed.
Jacqueline Moore feels blessed because her prayer of being together with her family for Christmas is coming true. Homeless for the past 3 months, Moore tonight has a home for herself and 3 teenage sons, a home in one of the Jeffries Project apartments.
I've been in the shelter for 3 months, and it's been extremely difficult. I've got to see a lot of things that put people in a lot of pressure, under a lot of pressure, and it's very stressful to be in a situation like that and not be able to help yourself.
Lots of people are trying to help the thousands of Jacqueline Moores in this area, cleaning floors, painting, scrubbing walls.
Make you feel good to know some people have been getting off the streets because of this?
Yes, sir. A whole lot of good.
Good that takes a whole lot of work. Here's how the kitchen in one vacant Jeffries unit looks. Not a place into which even the homeless would want to move. But through private and public efforts, this is the end result. One of 145 units being renovated in the Jeffries Project alone. The city hopes to greatly expand its effort after the first of the year. In fact, in buildings such as this, at this point, the city doesn't even know how many vacant units there are. The estimate, maybe 2, maybe 3,000. 2,000 to 3,000 units that could be made available to people now homeless. In Detroit, I'm Mike O'Neill, Fox 50, 10 o'clock news.
Detroit officials tonight are making 2 promises. First, they're promising to move 200 homeless residents into refurbished units before the end of the year. Secondly, they're also vowing to meet with federal officials right after the new year begins in an effort to free up more housing money. Roger?
In the meantime, another shelter that normally only accepts families is opening up to single women who are homeless. The Wayne County Family Center has now begun accepting single women on a limited basis, and county officials say that there is room for those women because the shelter has been able to move several of its family clients into permanent housing. Jesse Jackson, in the meantime, taking aim at the White House tonight. Jackson has called for an overnight protest of the Bush administration's housing policy, or rather what he calls no policy at all. That protest begins on Christmas Eve, but Jackson has already been told that anyone who falls asleep will be arrested.
We intend to stay here tomorrow night. We intend to stay all night. And those who get sleepy will sleep here on tomorrow night. We intend to challenge this morally bankrupt bureaucracy.
Jackson says that no sleeping rule shows that Washington has forgotten the plight of the poor and the nation's homeless.
Other news headlining our state in Michigan in a minute. Former hostage Alan Steen will be teaching at Albion College next year. Steen will be teaching journalism and writing at the Liberal Arts College starting January 13th. Steen will also be an advisor to the student newspaper. He was teaching at Beirut University when he was abducted in 1987. Steen was released from captivity earlier this month. In Jackson, Gregory Feigl is facing charges for an alleged multi-state crime spree. Feigl broke out of jail in Jackson December 7th, kidnapped an elderly Jackson man, and fled to Texas, where he was arrested. The abducted Jackson man, Albert Farrell, is hospitalized in Tennessee, where he was thrown from the car. Feigl is expected to be arraigned on the new charges by the first of the year. In Mackinac City, circle January 11th and 12th on your new calendar. That's when the Mackinac Mush Sled Dog Race is set to run. The mushers will be competing for at least $5,000 in prize money. Ooh,
some good loot.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's still a whole lot more headed your way tonight. Just ahead on your Fox 50 10 o'clock news. The president's tried to smooth out the nation's worries with his holiday message.
And it looks like a scene out of a disaster movie. Torrential and deadly rains, that is, pounding parts of the state of Texas. Up ahead on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news.
It's the Dodge Drive for the Gold sales drive. Now own Shadow America for only $69.84, thanks to 1,000 cash back. 1,000 on Dynasty. Plus, factory-to-dealer incentives could save you even more.
Up to $2,000 cash back on select Dodge trucks. And package savings up to $26.83. In soon. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
The holiday season brings joy and happiness to many. Unfortunately, it can bring pain and sorrow as well. If you or someone you know suffers from depression throughout the holidays, check with your company about an employee assistance program or contact the Downriver Guidance Clinic, New Center Community Mental Health Services, the Hawthorne Center, North Central Community Mental Health Center, the Judson Center, and Macomb County Community Mental Health Services. This Sharing Together message was brought to you by Mishcon and Huntington Banks.
When are you going to wake up and realize there really is a difference between window insulator kits? Our superior tape technology means our kit goes up easily, and nothing stays up more dependably and removes more cleanly. When it's time to cut drafts, don't settle for anything less than the original 3M window insulator kit, because it really is the tape.
President George Bush taped his television Christmas message to the nation today, and in it, Mr. Bush hailed the breakup of the Soviet Union. He offered greetings to Alan Steen and the other freed American hostages, and he also told us to remember the ideals that America was built on.
Let us remember that American ideals, faith, fellowship, family, freedom, are the values that will shape the world dawning before us. Already, Americans have banded together to help those in need, and that's appropriate for this season of faith. It's also the way Americans are, decent, helpful, full of ambition and hope, united in their devotion to community and family. Thank God for our families.
No talk today on what the president would do to get the economy rolling, and afterwards, the president left the White House for Camp David, where he'll spend the holidays with wife Barbara Bush, 4 of their children, and several grandkids.
Well, now that the New York Governor Mario Cuomo isn't jumping into the fray, just who is the leading contender to go up against the Republicans next November? Former Massachusetts Senator Paul Tsongas is leading all other Democratic candidates, according to a poll by the Concord Monitor. On the Republican side, President Bush leads conservative commentator Pat Buchanan 58% to 30%. Things really heated up on Wall Street today. The stock market celebrated Christmas early with its second best day of 1991. The Dow Jones Industrial Average saddled up the bull and rode to an 88-point finish on the upside. Analysts say today's stock market climb was brought on by a flurry of program training and last week's move by the Fed to drop the prime interest rate a full percentage point. Here at home, 3 banks lowered their prime lending rates a half a point, dropping them from 7.5 to 7%. NBD, Comerica, and manufacturers all made the announcement in response to last week's 1% cut in the interest rate the Federal Reserve charges banks. Comerica and manufacturers banks merged about 2 months ago. The Federal Reserve Friday cut the prime rate to a 27-year low in an attempt to get businesses and people to spend more money.
Train derailments are always dangerous, but when it's a train that happens to be carrying butane, the results could be deadly. Hazardous materials teams near Everett, Washington tonight are counting their blessings. 2 butane tanker cars caught fire when they derailed earlier today. Fortunately, though, there were no injuries. Now it's a waiting game. Police have evacuated everyone within a mile of that accident. Firefighters right now are waiting for the butane tankers to finally burn themselves out. They're also keeping a close watch on 3 other butane tanker cars that could erupt into flames if the temperature gets too hot. In South Carolina, the oil should start flowing again now that a leaky pipeline there has been fixed. The break dumped 420,000 gallons of heating oil fuel into a creek that threatened water supplies for some 10,000 people and cut off 80 oil distributors. Fortunately, most of those distributors had enough fuel stockpiled to prevent a shortage for all of their thousands of customers. And flooding across Texas tonight blamed for at least 14 deaths. Searchers today found the body of the latest victim, an Austin, Texas teenager. 3 other people, including an infant, are still missing. 5 days of heavy rains are finally over with, and floodwaters are now beginning to recede. But hundreds of people who fled their homes will have to spend the Christmas holidays in hotels or with friends. A lot of water.
Yeah, really.
Still ahead on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news. It's certainly cold enough outside, but the question we asked earlier, will we be getting a white Christmas?
Gary Baxter is up next. He'll have the weather, and we'll be back with more news as well.
We all live with stress. Some people find it harder to deal with than others. And sometimes not only can stress lead to a headache, but it can, on occasion, also lead to stomach upset. That's when your choice of a pain reliever should be Tylenol. Doctors know Tylenol provides fast, effective pain relief, yet is easy on your stomach. Talk to your doctor. We can't avoid stress, but we can take Tylenol to relieve stress headaches. Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
365 days of waiting. Pure adrenaline. Motorsports' finest hour.
Race fans, WRIF presents the 10th annual U.S. Hot Rod Thrill Show. Spectacular. Featuring Mud and Monster Truck Racing Championships. Tickets on sale now at the box office and Ticketmaster. Saturday, January 4th, the Silver Dome.
Yes, everything you've heard about Amadeus is true. Winner of 8 Academy Awards, including Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture. Amadeus, a remarkable experience for the whole family. Presented by Fox 50 on Christmas night. The Academy Award-winning Amadeus, Wednesday night at 7.
Who got the best Christmas gift this year? Linda's parents got her very own vacuum cleaner. Kim got a new party dress. Linda got a croquet set. Kim got bagpipes and an unabridged dictionary. Linda got a fuzzy sweater and hat. But then, Kim's smart parents got her what she really wanted, her own phone line from Michigan Bell. And they saved $10 on this cute new phone, too. They called Michigan Bell, got their old phone back, and everyone lived happily ever after. Well, almost everyone.
Well, Creston, a lot of children are asking this question. A lot of adults are thinking with nostalgic feelings about whether or not we'll be having a white Christmas.
Pressure's on, babe.
Yeah, no, I didn't. We got 2 chances, and you know what those chances are. Yeah. Well, the places that got that lake effect snow and that of last week, that's going to be enough to stay on the ground, at least give the appearances of a white Christmas in some of the areas north and west of us that did get a little snow last week. Probably have a little bit around, but certainly will not be everywhere, and not what we'd like to see. But hey, weather's weather, huh? Let's take a look at it. Outside right now, our skies are cloudy. Beginning to thin out, though. Temperature's still at 31 degrees as we're under the overcast, and the humidity 53%. Winds from the north, 13, a rising barometer, and all that combined, we get a wind chill of 13 degrees, if you happen to be into that. Let's take a look across the state of Michigan right now, and we're going to find that there's a little bitty cold front that's kind of sliding through the thumb now. It's not doing anything really than adding some color to the weather map. Temperatures are in the 20s generally across the state. As I said, we're still at 31, and just a few snow flurries in evidence from Traverse City up to Pellston. As temperatures cool and the skies are clearing into the UP, Marquette's already down to 5 degrees, so it's going to be a crispy one for the folks up there. Satellite photograph shows the clearing there, and the cloud cover, and this has been the low stuff, that's kind of wrapping around a very large low-pressure system, the one that was, for the most part, responsible for all that heavy rain down in Texas that Roger and Harry just showed you a minute ago. But that's wrapping back around there, beginning to thin out. So during the night tonight, our skies will thin and the temperatures will cool as soon as we start getting the clear skies. But this thing's producing quite a bit of heavy rain along the East Coast. Certainly nothing that they had in Texas. I guess the totals now are in from Austin. They had almost 16 inches of rainfall. San Antonio about 15. And needless to say, all the rivers continue to be flooded all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's a mess, and it's going to be that way for a while. High pressure system is going to build in for us, so I think it'll take care of us for a while. But there's another batch and a thing that's moving from the northwest. It really isn't showing up on the weather map yet, but this thing's going to really fly out of Canada. And the low-pressure system by tomorrow night will be over into Ontario. That's going to pull a weak little cool front down with it. There'll be some colder air in behind that. It's going to generate some light snow or snow flurries for the northern portion, lower peninsula, and the UP, and maybe some mountain snows down into West Virginia. High pressure is beginning to build up. There's another system in the northwest, which I don't think is going to affect us. I think we're in a moderating trend, or a moderate trend as far as temperature goes, because the jet stream is generally zonal or west to east, and so that brings in Pacific air, so we really don't expect to see anything on the cold side for a while. Temperatures in Great Falls, 50 tomorrow, 48 in Denver, sunny, 65 in Phoenix, and back throughout the Midwest, generally in the upper 30s or so, with 40s and 50s along the East Coast and 70s in Florida, if you're heading down there. Right here tomorrow, though, let's look for the temperatures in the morning to stop in the upper 20s, or upper teens, low 20s. As we get up north with that cool front's coming in quite rapidly, be single digits without any problem. A few light snow showers or snow flurries up through the northern part of the state. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll moderate to right around the freezing mark through the bulk of the southern side of the state. I think the border counties get up, 35 to 37 degrees. Up north with light snow continuing in the UP, holding into the 20s, and also in the northern lower peninsula. So here's your forecast for Detroit tonight. Our skies will finally begin to clear out. So we'll go with partly cloudy. It's going to take a while to do this, though. 22 by morning with a north wind, light between 6 and a dozen. Then tomorrow, partly sunny, in and out of the clouds, one of those deals. 33 for our temperature with a west wind. And tomorrow night, it's not going to be so bad. We'd be about 22 with gradual clearing during the night. And taking us into Christmas Day, sunshine and 35 degrees. Also on Thursday, we'll build some cloud cover as we move into the latter part of the week, and first part of the weekend warming up into the upper 30s. But it certainly does look dry. Now, maybe Thursday there is a hint that we might get a little backlash, a little backdoor front that could bring in some snow showers to the thumb, but not for us.
That sunshine might actually be nice. Good for driving if you have to drive someplace, safe weather.
Oh, travelers, it's perfect, and hopefully this will cut down on some of our problems that we have during the holidays.
So get out and do something and
enjoy
it. Have fun. This is a good year to get a bicycle for Christmas, right?
Okay.
That's a good ride.
Now you know what Harry wants. Up next on the Fox 50 10 o'clock news, these are the real things. There they are. They're teddy bears, and they're in trouble, but someone is trying to help.
And more than just kids are lining up to see Santa this year. It's all next when the Fox 50 10 o'clock news continues. Tonight, an environmental group charges the U.S. government is insensitive to at least one group of animals. The battle of the teddy bear, the real ones, got started when the wildlife group filed suit against the government for failing to put the Louisiana black bear on the endangered species list. The group accuses the Bush administration of ignoring preservation efforts.
Meanwhile, an early Christmas present of sorts today from Governor John Engler. The governor signed a bill that freezes basic residential telephone rates for at least the next 2 years. That bill also allows senior citizens and handicapped people unlimited local telephone calls. Engler also signed a bill today that authorizes local governments to regulate or even prohibit public nudity in any form. Well, 23 car and truck manufacturers, including the big three, will have to pay $225,000 in fines to the state of Florida for not complying with the state's lemon law. The manufacturers were accused of not advising new car buyers about their rights under that lemon law. Among other things, the lemon law entitles buyers to arbitration if they have any complaints about defects in the cars that they bought.
And tonight's last word is Santa dogs. Just because your kids are too old to sit on Santa's lap doesn't mean you have to miss out on pictures of loved ones with a jolly old man. Lots of people are taking their pets to see Santa this Christmas. Many humans seem strangely inclined to decorate their pets. Reindeer outfits are especially popular. And of course, some people deny that they're into this sort of thing.
Actually, it was my wife that made me do it.
Where's your wife?
Believe it or not, she didn't feel well. She's homesick.
Yeah, right.
Most animals, we're told, are pretty well behaved. So we're waiting to see who's all going to sit on Santa's lap. But some find the wait a bit too long. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight.
And Ray Lane's up next with Sports Extra. Stick around. Good night.